Welcome back to the Teacher's AI Cafe. I'm Kane, a teacher and a parent who wants AI to give us back our time. I share practical classroom-tested AI strategies to cut down your workload, improve your feedback and reduce stress so you can get your evenings back and be more present with your friends and family. No jargon, just actionable steps. Grab your mug. Now let's get going. Today I'm actually going through creating a certain type of resource, which is going to be creating resources for a teacher would use to, say, watch a documentary or a YouTube video where the students need to answer questions, really simple stuff, but something we use a lot. And the way I'm going to do this is comparing three different actual platforms. I'm going to do NotebookLM, and I'm going to do something a little bit different than that. I'm going to use ChatGPT and Claude because I'm learning how to use that after opening up a test account and trying to do the two. And trying to see what the differences are, the advantages and the disadvantages on that. I think it's important to compare the different platforms because they all do things slightly differently, and people arguing one is better than the other is not often true. They have their strengths and they have their weaknesses. Now, what I will iterate before we actually go through, this is actually all done live. And like I said, it's not polished, it's not fancy, it's not like some people's YouTube channels and podcasts, which are highly refined. I don't have time to do that. I'm literally record it live, clean it up a little bit, and then I post it online. So you do have to bear with me through different parts of this when things don't work, and that's part of the experience we go through as teachers, and also how I deal with those problems. So let's get into it. Let's see what we can actually make. So what are we going to do today? So I'm going to go through a typical example of what I would use as a history teacher. And for people on my podcast, what I'm doing, I've gone to YouTube. I found a video called Life in the Trenches, World War I, Trench Warfare Explained. This is on the website of the Imperial War Museum, so a reliable source for this particular item. And what I want to do is actually create a question sheet for the students to complete while they're watching this video. It's quite short. It's only 8 minutes long. It's really good. And I think what I'll do, so what I'm going to do is copy the URL, and I'm going to then put it into the three different platforms. Start first with NotebookLM. So when it comes through, I'm going to go websites. I'm going to put the URL in there, get the process. Begin Google, because I own NotebookLM to develop it. The links there is actually really easy to do. So I've got those links in there. And I'm going to ask it, I'm going to do the same for Claude. And we're just in a simple chat with Claude. I'm not using anything like co-work, put the URL in there. And I actually want to give it a task to do using the YouTube video. Create a set of, we'll give it 10 questions for my year 9 history students to complete while watching the video to learn about trench warfare. Create it as a closed activity, as its mixed literacy class. So I've got the thing, I'm going to hit start there. I'll let that going. Oops, do a new chat. Now I've gone to people listening online, I've gone to ChatGPT, I've copied and pasted exactly the same thing, the URL and the 10 questions into ChatGPT. I've set that on its way. And what I'm going to do something a little bit different is in NotebookLM, I'm actually going to use the Infographic feature and see if that works. So I'm going to click on Infographic. I'm going to leave it as standard. I'll do as a sketch note style. And I'm going to copy and paste the same prompt. So I'm not going to change it. We might want to change this prompt a little bit. Yes, I will add to it. Add in visual elements from the video or history to support their understanding of, I will fix up of trench warfare. So I've got a little bit extra on there. I'll set it to standard and landscape. We'll see what it comes back with. So this is something a little bit different. Like I said, all my videos, like I'm doing, they're actually all done live. We'll see what the reactions are. So I've set NotebookLM to go on that. And it's probably going to take a little while. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump back into Claude. So Claude is generated. It's got a word bank at the top. It's got some questions in there, approximately So it looks like it's done like a web form, so I can actually go in there. I can type in the answers. Okay, create, loadable, and load, and printable PDF version. Because my kids don't have technology. We'll go through that. Now, I'll come back to this point. It's quite interesting because I played with this before and actually come up with issues before. And this is working perfectly. Now, I'm going to go through an example in a minute where it did not actually work perfectly, but I'll do it afterwards, and once we get through the results. Okay, ChatGPT has gone away. It's found the video. It's done it in a we know it's here now at the end of the thing. So what it's for people at home, it's done a nice closed activity. It's got 10 questions. It's got blank. Soldiers dug trenches to blank themselves from bullets and shrapnel. At the end of each line, it's actually got a reference to this Imperial War Museum reference. If I click on that, it'll actually go open up. And it's actually going to the website where it's actually hosted on the Imperial War Museum website. So I do really like that about ChatGPT. It does that automatically now, puts the sources in there for you. Now, let's say, okay, create down. So actually we'll go to export to a Word file for printing. And it'll go away and generate a Word file for us. So what's happening here is NotebookLM is still generating. And I'm going to tell you it's going to take a long time. Now, because I realized it does take a long time, I actually went back earlier and I did start one and it's still generating. Now I started this 20 minutes ago. So this one's actually still, have I got the right one? Hold it. Sure I've got the right one. Yep, no, that is the right one. Trench warfare to one source, the 8th. And this will take a while. So we'll probably come back to the NotebookLM one. So it'll be interesting to see what it actually comes up with. So what we've got here is ChatGPT is generating a format for me to do it. Now Claude has created a downloadable form for me. There should be a download button here somewhere. So we'll download that. We'll open it up. And yeah, that looks good. It's very basic. This is the second version I've done because I've actually used this resource before. It's quite different in the styling. It's got the questions at the top, or the answers to the questions at the top, which ChatGPT, but I didn't ask it to do that. Like I said, Claude tends to do a lot of things on its own. Now, if we look at the word activity that's come out here, open that up in Word. Whoops. Open that up in Word. So the Word one looks fairly good. So the Word version from ChatGPT's got a word bank at the top. Now, what I find it does is you actually explicitly go tell ChatGPT to randomize the words. So if you look at the word bank, you'll find they're actually in the correct order. So protect goes there, first line, communication, and so on. So it doesn't actually randomize you. You've got to actually tell it to do that, which is a bit of a pain. It seems as, let's have a look at Claude. Is Claude's random? Western Front. Yep. So Claude 1 has been adjusted. Now I'm going to say I don't like the design. You do the design for me to appeal to Year 9 students that want more visuals. Okay, let's see if we can get that go in there. I know ChatGPT doesn't do that. What we can do in ChatGPT is the connector and see if we can actually get it to create. Now, I haven't had much success with doing this worksheet, but let's say we try it live. Create a worksheet with the following content in Canva. So what I've done here, I've actually done the Canva connector in ChatGPT, so it'll actually interact with that platform with the following content. What I'll do, I'm just going to copy the paste in there. Don't want the sources, we want the thing. We'll ask it to do that. We'll set it to go away and do that. I won't give it any more instructions. I find when going to Canva, it's really hit and miss. When I've done this previously, it hasn't actually created. It's given me a title page for the topic, which really isn't really that useful to me. Let's check. Okay, NotebookLM is still going. So I'm going to show you something that happened to me earlier. So it's redone the design. It's thinking about it in Claude. Like I said, we can make these adjustments. Claude does spend a lot more time designing things. I find the outputs a little better. A bit better. Let's see what it's come up with. Still running the commands, presenting the file. So what it's done like an aged parchment. Oh, I think that's terrible. I did ask for it, didn't I? So I think that's actually worse than the first one. And that's the thing with AI. It's not really always that good. Now, I'm going to go back. I'll close that down. I'm actually going to start a new chat. And the reason I'm going to do this is I'm going to show you something that happened to me. I'm going to go back to the Imperial War Museum. Okay.
This is the Messerschmitt BF1.
So this is a Messerschmitt BF105, better than the Spitfire. I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to go to using this video, create, close activity for students. Answer questions. This topic. Nice simple. I just want to do a little shorter. It's going away and doing the fetch process here. Now, what we're seeing here now is actually what happened before. Is it actually told me it could not access it to actually do the video. And I actually wanted to do this live. And there's workarounds for it when I did a bit of Googling. Now, if you're a teacher doing this, you don't want to go install apps and other bits and pieces and things like that. If you want to use the video, how do we actually get around this? And the reason it worked on the other one is I'd actually done the process I used, did the workaround, and that actually allowed it to actually access that content, which I didn't think about when I went live. So what I do here, this is what I used to do, and there's different plugins and things go there. Normally what I do is I go into more, I go down the bottom here, and we go show transcript, and the transcript appears here on the right-hand side. So people listening at home, you can pull up a full transcript. And I literally just copy and paste the entire transcript. This is the transcript from the video. Complete the task. So basically now I've just gone and got the content and put it in there. And like I said, it's a manual process, but it's much quicker and easier. Now you can spend some time as workarounds. You can get some additional apps. If you can use things like Cowork and Claude to actually have, I guess, plugins and things, they call them artifacts, to actually go get it for you. But like I said, we're doing as a teacher would do as a really basic activity. You just want to get on and do it. And that's what we really want with AI. We don't want to spend a lot of time doing it. So it's actually generating it this time, which is fantastic. Let's check back on the other one. No, it's still not generating that there. So that's not going thing. Let's have a look at ChatGPT. Okay. And this is the problem I got. It doesn't, when I go into Canva, it doesn't actually create the Canva for me. I can go open up Canva and copy and paste it. So in reality, I often find it's easier to just have a template to actually do that. Other people might have a workaround thing. I don't spend a lot of time trying to go from ChatGPT this way into Canva. I did produce a really good booklet. It worked really well, but there was a lot of content. So I have to go back and think about why did that booklet work perfectly? And why does this task sheet not work at all? And for people at home, what's actually done is done lots of close activities, like page one. It's like the cover page for me, which really is not really useful. It's done like graphics in there. It's not particularly something I really want to muck around with at this point, especially if I'm just say trying to get a task done. Let's check back to, so the Messerschmitt has done the task sheet. Okay, it's got the blanks once again. You can do online. Create HTML. So what we can do, which I find is really good. Okay, we'll go create self-marking HTML page for students access with their laptops. So if you get a laptop, and I do like Claude to be able to do this, and let's see if we can get it to do in ChatGPT, same task. Okay, we'll get it to ignore that. And then Claude will go away and actually build this. And I find these development things, Claude does way better than ChatGPT at this point. But let's see what it comes up with. So ChatGPT is thinking about it. NotebookLM, geez, we should maybe go away and come back a long time, because obviously this is start at the beginning of the video. It's going to go through a lot. I might have to cut it and actually come back to it and finish it off. should really record how long that actually took. So it's making an HTML page for me. Claude is still building it as well. I find Claude will probably finish this a little bit sooner. And what you can do if you do this, I've created before, you can actually then make it a downloadable file. You can save it, and the students just grab it and drop it into their web browser, and they can actually fill it out. So it's really good for distance learning, online learning. Also self-marking as they're going through. And also I'll get it to make a PDF downloadable version of that as well, going for that. So both are thinking. So I might stop it there, come back when they're both finished. Okay, we're back. So both of them have actually finished their close activities. So we'll have a look at the Claude one first, 20 blank spaces, A2E, print button, and so on. You can download it. Let's see what it looks like. So this is the web page it's made. It's got the questions here. BFE, good history of, I'll say 357. We'll get some questions wrong. We'll go through it. So in terms of the design going through for people offline, it's very dark. It's very blue. You'd have to customize it a bit. There's a word bank at the top. It's got the aircraft, comparison British fighters, history of the aircraft. What I'll do, I'll drop them, see if I can drop them in the show notes. I'll link to them there below. Going through, and so I can click on check my answers, more revision needed. I got 0 out of 20. That isn't very good. So it gives a bit of feedback going through. The questions at the top, they could copy and paste those here. Okay. Now if we look at ChatGPT, now ChatGPT has done theirs. It gives me a downloadable file, but also gives me a preview of what it looks like here. Now, so I opened that up. I actually did fill it out. So at the same time, once again, I forgot the word bank is in the correct order, which really doesn't really help me. Year 9 self-close marking activity. It's got some instructions. Watch the video. What I would actually add to that, I'd actually add the video link in there so they could then click on it and take it to it. So I should have added that in there. Future, so you can say put the link in there. You've got spaces to type in the answer. So it's got the sentence, blank spot, and then got your answer below that. And I'll put some wrong answers. I go check my answers. And what it does, it's highlight all the ones that are green and it's put the ones that are red, which are incorrect. I got 6 out of 10. I made some deliberate mistakes. I do know my history a bit more than that. So what you can then do goes redo the page and include a link to the original video. So I'll get to go away and do that. I'm not going to do the same thing in Claude, but that's essentially what I would actually do on that. Okay, on Claude, go make it down version. Let's say I only have a black and white printer. Colors. I can print that as it's too dark. Use a white background. So I'll get those adjustments. Oh, of course, this one's got the Mr. Smith questions on there going through. So I'll let it go through and actually generate that. So I'll go through and do that for me again. Now, the advantage of that, like I said, we can do it online. We can create a downloadable version. ChatGPT is going away and making a new one. The infographic is still processing going through. Like I said, it takes a very long time, but like I said, asked to do a task I hadn't done before. So when you're doing OneNote, I find a lot of things when you're doing the graphics and the previews and the slide decks, you often got to leave it and come back to us, particularly if you get a lot of information coming through there. I'll do that. I'll just see what changes it's made to Life in the Trenches. Let's go, let's preview it. Okay, let's download it and reopen it. Okay, this is the new one for people at home, ChatGPT. So what's added at the top, I didn't tell it to change the word order. Keep doing that all the time. Okay, we've got I can copy and paste to YouTube. Now, if I click on open the video, will it go open the video? Yep, go straight to the video for me. And that's really handy because, you can put those content in there. Now, in terms of developing this, you'd have to try and develop some sort of template or idea. I'm going to tell it to redo with the change is randomize the order word bank. Lots of typos in there. Anyway, I tell the redo, randomize the order. Let's see what Claude has actually come back with. It's still working, still thinking. NotebookLM is still thinking. Like I said, I did give it a really big task. So I'm very curious after all this time what it'll actually come back with. So Claude is going away again and doing that. So what other uses is this? So video is a very obvious one to do. And you can put, if you got a link, you could actually drop the video file in there as well. If you can get much longer documentaries as well. Like I said, in terms of formatting and styling, if you want to do something fairly quickly, you can do it. Personally, if I had the original one, not the HTML one, I'd probably, if I was designing it for the classroom, I would actually have a template already in Canva or Word or something like that. And I would actually copy and paste the word bank content, and I would actually drop in that. And I mentioned that in a video quite a while ago where I did that, because I actually like my own design mostly. Like I said, I'm putting my teacher judgment in there in terms of formatting and design. And that what it's done is done the bulk, getting the questions for me, going through. I'll probably go away and watch the video and make sure it's correct. So it's actually doing the right thing. Okay, let's have a look at the downloadable one. Okay, it's on the close activity. It's more of a white background now. Show all the answers. Got a button in there. I can reset. You can print, save as a PDF. So it's giving me that option there. I can do it as a PDF. So it's got some features in there which are quite handy. Create PDF version. So this one you can download. And this is a big improvement over the first one. It's all white. It's got black text in there. It's got information. It's got options at the bottom, which it's got check my answers. Show all the answers. I click on that. All the answers appear for me on the page. I can do reset. And I can also print and save as a PDF, which is quite a nice feature. If you generate it, you can have the students create a digital version and then print out, maybe put it in their files or something like that, or they just can keep it on their computer. Let's see what it's done. So it's redone the page. I'll download again. So I'll open that up. So it's done exactly the same, but now my word bank is completely a different order going through. I did notice I can copy and paste the words up the top. People didn't want to actually type in the words as well. You're sure about spelling? 10 questions. I think that looks pretty cool. I'll ask her to make a downloadable version. Create PDF version. So we'll get it to do that. I wonder if the PDF version, it will retain the link. Actually, I'll stop it. I'm going to ask it to redo it. Can you retain the active link to the web page? Yeah. Well, I know you can obviously often embed the links in my PDF files. As long as you don't flatten it, it's fine. I just wonder if ChatGPT can do it for me. I've never tried this before. Once again, this is us doing it live. Okay, the infographic's still generating. Claude is still going through. All these windows opening up. Okay, it's creating a PDF version of the worksheet. Going through. So when I do this, I guess while we're waiting, I suggest, is there any other teachers who would actually like to come on and interview for my podcast? Talk about how you're using AI in your classroom. It can be simple. You listen to all the ones I've already done. People are at different stages. They use different amounts. And I think that's really important for us on this AI journey, because I know some things, other teachers know different things. Some people might be an expert in using Gemini. Some people might be an expert using Claude, because I'm just feeling my way around that. I'm really good at ChatGPT because that's the one I've been using for the last 3 years. So as a result, we get different ideas and different approaches, and also different learning areas. So once again, drop an email below or send me a message and we can arrange a time to do that. And we just do it online. It's very informal, very relaxed. Usually ask for the questions. I usually just let the people actually just talk and explain and talk about what they want to. And then I chip in every now and then. Okay, we've got the PDF link here. Let's get back to it. Okay, here we have the trench warfare. I've got the word bank. It looks pretty basic. Now, if I click on the open video, it's going to open up in Safari.
When it comes to the First World War, it's one thing all.
It does. So that's a really nice feature. So if you do develop something in ChatGPT, we've got a link in there. The formatting and everything looks absolutely horrible, but we can work on that. But will retain the actual active links in there in the PDF. So that's not something I've never tried before. I can add that to my to-do list when I'm actually working through it. Let's check back with Claude. Let's have a look at its download version. Let's download it. And for people at home, start answer key for me at the bottom. That doesn't really help me out. I'd have to chop that off. Keywords, Battle of Britain, Mr. Smith. It's got lots of the words in there. and all the word bank is actually in the correct order, which once again, you got to tell it the case. Yes, they're exactly looking at the answer key at the bottom. That is in the correct order. Okay. Redo, mix up the word bank order and don't include the answer key. Lastly, create an active link to the video on the top of the access the YouTube video. There we go. We're going to do a little bit more in there. Okay, redundant. So I'm going to stop with ChatGPT at the moment. Like I said, we've got a lot of different things in there. We'll let Claude, we'll check back into our, still going. Still going. I swear I started one earlier, but it seems to have vanished. So I've got two trench warfares here. The reality, the trench deadlock. This is evolution. That's trench deadlock. I did start one earlier. Now this one here, the evolution, I actually started that quite a while ago. So that's been going for quite a long time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video. So here we are back in here. Claude has actually created its worksheet here, and I've actually downloaded it. So it's got the link in there. It's randomized the words. So if we actually look at here, we can click on here. So these are now random, which is good. There's no answer key at the bottom. So it's something you can go away and print and do. I think it's still quite large. It's 2 pages, but like I said, it's nicely done. The formatting looks good. And does the link work? So I click on the YouTube link there, video. It opens up. And that's really important. We put those sort of links in there, especially particularly if we're handing it out to students doing that. And students could obviously, if they got a PDF read, they can probably be able to actually edit and put the information in there as well, depending on the program they're actually doing. Now it's been an ages. This is still generating this infographic. Actually, both of them. I've got 2 different ones, and this one's been going for over an hour, I think. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to check in periodically whether it's finished, and then I'll just record another segment for the video. Like I said, this is live when it's live. Okay, we're back. I had to reset it. I guess the first one didn't work. This version was much quicker. I haven't looked at them. I actually did 2 different ones. Let's have a look at the preview. So this is what NotebookLM has generated for me under the brief. What it does is Life in the Trenches. It's created some graphics there for me, and it's put the lines in there. I think that actually looks pretty good, and I would definitely use that. I find it annoying they always put their logo in the bottom right-hand corner. So, yep, it's got antidote firepower because of something, I would see probably machine guns there, zigzag. So they've got some basic information. You've got the 10 questions there. That actually looks pretty good. And, yep, I could actually use that. And this is very different to the more structured responses that the other ones gave me. So the graphics in there, some of them aren't historically accurate. What I would probably do to improve this was actually specify exactly what questions. I actually had 2 going, so this is the second one. Now, if you actually look here, the first one's failed. And this is a different one again. I actually like this one a little bit better than the other one. So the other one I did I waited over an hour and a half. It didn't do anything, and it gave me that failed message. I hit restart. This one actually redid it. I didn't actually ask it to put lots of graphics in there. I simply said year 9s, 10 questions for that. So I think this format's fairly good, though the person's sitting in a cave, something 6. And then I'll have to go through and actually ask it to make an answer key. So for the photograph, create a solution key. As a list. So then obviously I want to have a solution key, double check that it actually is correct, go back and watch the video. Like I said, I would definitely use one of those. I can download that. Downloads as a PNG file. Like I said, it's fine. You can actually then drag that in there, copy and that paste into documents. So yeah, I think that actually looks pretty cool. So 2 different ways of creating files there. When you're looking at here, you've got the nice visual one. This is for a low literacy, high engagement sort of classroom. And the other ones are the more traditional, pure academic classes. Okay. I'd have to go through and double check. I'm not going to do that at this moment. This video has been long enough. Like I said, this is another tool. I might have a bit of a play with it. Obviously, something went wrong when they did the original versions. Like I said, when they did retry it, actually did it in about 5 minutes. So not sure what the issue in NotebookLM. It does this from time to time for me. In one of my previous videos, I had 4 goes at trying to make an infographic, and none of them worked. But like I said, try again till you get it done. So hopefully this is useful. Got any questions, put them in the comments below. Do and subscribe either through my podcast or through my YouTube channel. For people on the podcast here, like I said, go have a look, quick flick through the YouTube. The graphics look pretty good. What the person did here. It says trench style. It's got the numbers, the trench system, new tech and tactics, breakthrough, duddy life. So it's got some headings and things in that. It's something I would definitely use, and that actually looks pretty good. So like I said, keep up the good work. Keep experimenting with AI. Look at the different tech. Think about different ways you can use it to actually save yourself time and produce things that would normally take a lot longer to produce. Till then, keep up the good work.